So, the reason why you're doing a blog is so that you have a space to reflect upon the day and what happened. When you are reflecting, what we're looking for is that you're putting some thought into this. Now, you've probably been giving some thought to this, but what you're doing is you're capturing this in this blog. And so it's going to do two things. First off, it's going to allow you to kind of give you a structure to explore your feelings, thoughts on the goings ons of the day and what happened. Second off, it's going to allow us to have a better understanding of what is going on with you as well, so that we can help where we feel it might be necessary or to try to clear things up if something is, it seems to be confused. When you are writing your blog, you don't have to write necessarily complete sentences, but you do want to make it clear what it is that you're expressing. What I mean by that is that you are doing this reflection for yourself so you can explore your feelings and so you can and see how you did, but you're also writing it for an audience, and the audience needs to understand what it is that you're talking about. And so clarity is really important. Grammar, not so much. We're not looking when this is not a writing assignment, we're grading for the writing, but it does need to be communicated in a way that is clear to us. So if you draw, you could certainly draw a picture, but if you draw a picture, then explain why you drew that picture. What does that represent? So be clear to yourself and to the audience that's going to be reading this. So there are basically six phases you're going to go through this blog. And these are not six separate paragraphs. They can all be in one paragraph, but you're going to explore all of these. So the first one is you're just going to start with describing. The describing is the what. So what happened today? There's no judgment, there's no opinion, there's no anything like that. You're just stating what happened. So if you say things did not go well, that would be an opinion. You would say instead, I did not get my contract done. That would be the what. And it's not an evaluation. It's not saying why you didn't. It's just stating what happened. So the first part is just describing what happened. What are the facts? Next is then exploring those feelings. So, how did you feel about this? So, if you didn't get the contract done, how did you feel about this? You might have been frustrated, or you might have felt proud because you didn't get the contract because you really thought about it and you were doing so much you weren't able to get it completed. And you might be going through a lot of feelings. There might be a roller coaster of feelings that you have about these actions. But you can explore these feelings and more importantly, why you think you feel that way. So if you were frustrated, what caused you to be frustrated? And why was that? The third phase is what is called evaluation. And in this, you're going to judge. You're going to say, this went well, this did not. And then you're going to try to explore why something went well or why something didn't. But you're taking these facts and you're giving judgment to them. You're saying whether it was good or bad or what or indifferent or whatever it was. But you're going to have to also justify those reasons. What leads you to believe that it was a bad experience, or what leads you to believe that it was an exciting experience. The fourth phase is analysis. So now that you have the facts written out and you've explored your feelings and you've evaluated how things went, I want you to take a further look and to figure out what you made of this situation. In other words, why did things happen, and how much control did you have over whether something worked or not? So in other words, you might have been frustrated because the internet wasn't working. You can't really control that. So you just hope that you get better Wi-Fi the next time that you work so that you can do your research or whatever. But there are things that you can't control. So if you say, I only got half of my contract done, well, then you need to, through your feelings and evaluation, determine, was that because you didn't manage your time well? Was that because you had too much to put down or couldn't focus, or what was it? So you're kind of looking a little bit further on what that was. Your fifth phase is the conclusion. So then you're going to start. So now that it's like, this is what happened, you're going to think, what if? What if this had happened? How would things be different? What could I have done that might have been different? How could I improve, or how can I have made that better? So you're asking the what ifs in your conclusion. And then finally is an action plan. So, what will you do moving forward when you work on this project next week? Will you learn from your mistakes? Will you learn from your successes? So, part of that learning is that you are learning to not do something that you did before or to repeat something that you did do really well. So, you're going to give an action plan for yourself on what you're going to do moving forward for the next part of this project. And so, in your blog, you need to address all six of these, and you need to make sure that you communicate it in a way that is clear to the reader.